Hey, what's up you guys? It's Mike here. In this video series, I review your Fiverr profiles and your Fiverr gigs. The goal here is to give you tips and best practices to help you improve as a seller, ultimately making more money selling on Fiverr. This is the second video in this video series. The first one I did a few weeks back where I reviewed a voiceover seller from Ghana. In that video, I provided a lot of helpful tips that might be helpful to you as well. So after you watch this video, make sure you're checking that one out as well by clicking the link in the description. It might be really helpful for you. So check it out. And also, before I get into things, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel. It really helps. Alright, so the Fiverr profile that I'm reviewing today is a graphic designer who specializes in vintage logo designs. His username is Kalam and he's a seller out of Pakistan. His relevant work experience is that he's been selling on Fiverr since 2008, and I think that's awesome. He's been grinding it out for 2 years, improving and trying to step up his game. That's awesome, and that type of persistence is what it takes to succeed on the platform for sure. On his profile, he lists that he has a BSc in mathematics, he's got a certificate in graphic design from Udemy, and a social media ad certificate from lynda.com. That's awesome, and I think not enough people are utilizing those sections of the Fiverr profile. Put as many certifications and education experiences as you can. It really helps and helps you separate yourself from the pack. I also ask everyone who submits their information to me to include a fun fact, just to make it interesting. His fun fact is plain and simple. He's pumped up to become the best seller on Fiverr. Pretty ambitious, but I love it. As a seller on Fiverr myself, it really matters to set goals like that. There's so much competition out there, and if you don't have something that you're striving for, it's really easy to get lost in the weeds. So good one. All right, so thank you for submitting your information. I've reviewed your Fiverr profile and I've reviewed your vintage logo design gig. In this video, I'm going to give you some honest feedback that I think you can use to improve your gig. I'll also give you some tips or just thoughts that I have while reviewing your profile or your gig. I'm not the be-all, end-all. This is just my opinion and my feedback. So take from it what you will, but I hope it's really helpful. So let's get into it. All right, so starting with your main profile page, your profile picture looks pretty good. It's well designed. And you have this tagline, ideas that roar. I think this is a pretty awesome tagline. And I think personally, you could beef up the first impression you're giving your buyers if you found a way to make this tagline relevant and connect with your profile picture here. I don't know, I'm not a designer myself, but I'm picturing some sort of a cool lion or something really powerful roaring. It would, really align with the ideas that roar tagline that you have there. This isn't a super huge deal, but as a graphic designer, a big part of the value you bring and what buyers look for is your ability to represent their vision into images. So if you can show that you can do that with yourself by representing, your profile ideas that roar with the picture you use, that would go a long way. This is an important point for all sellers. Your profile should be a reflection of you as a seller, the value you can bring and what makes you different from the rest. Any opportunity to differentiate yourself should be taken. And this is just one small step that you can do yourself. The next thing I focused on here on your profile was your description. Currently it reads, a creative geek providing kick-ass graphic solutions. That's good, and I'd recommend you also beef it up with some more information about what you can actually do. Talk about some types of businesses or industries you've designed for in the past. Give people an idea of where they might need or use your services. This description's funny and it's okay, but really take advantage of this description section to give as much information as possible of who you are, what you can do, and why they should care. Remember, there are only so many spots on your Fiverr profile to make yourself stand out from the competition, so make sure you're using them wisely. This is definitely one of those spots. So one of the areas I thought you did really well on was your skills, education, and certifications area of your profile. You made sure to list your skills in Adobe Photoshop and Illustrator, as well as listing the grades you got on Fiverr's tests that test people on their skills and proficiency in various skills. I think this is awesome, and it's an important tip for you and other sellers. Do this and take every opportunity to do this that you can using Fiverr. It's an underutilized area, but the reality is if a buyer's on your profile and they're debating between you or another seller who offers a very similar service, how do they decide without meeting you personally? These types of certifications and skills and proficiency tests just do a little bit to help put you over the competition and differentiate yourself. It also shows that you've taken the time to actually do these things, which gives you a leg up. There's a lot of lazy sellers on Fiverr. You're not one of them. So by doing this, you give a good first impression to your buyers. I really recommend continuing to do that. All right, so now I'm gonna jump into the actual vintage logo design gig that you asked me to review. I noticed you had a video as the first thing in your portfolio, so I'll play that out for everyone to see before I get into the review of your gig. So it's got like a Pirates of the Caribbean or an epic audio track that's building this logo throughout it and presenting it at the end. I think it's nice. One thing I did notice is it's a bit choppy. I'm not sure if you can fix that, but it looks like the frame rate is a little messed up and not optimized. So it's leading to the clip appearing choppy. Also, your gig is for logo design. One question I had, do you provide animation work as well, similar to this intro video that you included in your gig portfolio? If you don't, I'd probably make the decision to remove that video clip altogether. Part of getting good ratings and keeping your clients happy is making sure they're 100% confident that they know exactly what you can deliver. In my opinion, there's absolutely no point in including something in your profile that doesn't really align with what you deliver in the gig. It'll just end up confusing people. With that being said, if you're someone who's offering graphic design services on Fiverr, the first image in your portfolio should always be something that represents that. Right now you have that video there, and the other images you have in your portfolio are really, really good. So I'd recommend pushing one of those pictures up to be that first image. You gotta think like a buyer. If they're looking through the Fiverr search results and they see you versus someone else, and someone else just has a clear graphic design image as their picture, and you have a video with a play button, doesn't have the same impact. You can keep the video for sure if you really like, but make sure that first image is an image that actually illustrates your skills and your abilities. All right, so next I'll just move down to your gig description. So you start off by congratulating them that they found the right gig. You go over some of the different styles you can do, that's great. The information you need to start the project, this is pretty helpful, a little bit of a typo here. And then you list why they should choose you. I think that's great. So I did notice that there were some minor grammar and spelling errors in this description. So I take the time to either review the grammar and spelling yourself or just pay someone on Fiverr to do it for you. In my experience, over 90% of my Fiverr clients are American, so make sure that it reads naturally and there's no small spelling errors like the one I found right here. Also, I give your gig description a once over and try to find opportunities to pack in a couple more keywords or keyword phrases to help you rank higher in Fiverr search. Usually the first paragraph or two of your description is a great place to have a really natural conversational sounding description of your services and what you can do. And this is also a great place to squeeze in some keywords and keyword phrases in a way that sounds natural. It'll do you well on Fiverr search results, and it'll also help with buyers who are actually reading the description because it'll connect with them a little bit better. If you need help figuring out how to do that, how to create a gig description and pack it with relevant keywords and rank it highly on Fiverr, I've already made a video that can help you do that. I'll link to it in the description of this video, and I'll also try to put a pop-up on the screen. You should definitely check it out if you have questions about how to rank your gigs and how to use things like keywords and keyword phrases in your gig description. It'll be really helpful for you. All right, so that's all I have for you, man. I think your Fiverr profile is pretty awesome and you offer a great gig. It looks like you're a skilled graphic designer. I think the tips and feedback that I've provided in this video should help you improve and take it to the next level. I think you're doing great, but some of the things I mentioned are just best practices that I think can't hurt and will only benefit your gigs as they rank and get purchased on Fiverr. So thanks again for watching. All that's left now is to like and subscribe to the video, and make sure you're checking the links to the other videos that I linked in this video's description. You know, Fiverr's a marathon, it's not a sprint. So make sure you're doing your due diligence, learn as much as you can, and you'll become a better seller and make more money on Fiverr. Thanks again. Cheers.